Okay, we are doing something different today. This is Jay Schenirer, council member from District 5. I'm going to take this off for a few minutes. We are actually in Oakland with Planting Justice, also with Three Sisters. And Planting Justice is an organization that has answered an RFP with a proposal to look at the old tree nursery just north of Executive Airport on Freeport Boulevard and bring it to life. It's been a blighted area for at least a decade. We've tried a few things to get it animated and activated, but finally went out with an RFP. We had a number of great organizations apply, but Planting Justice with Gavin here, and then Three Sisters as one of the partners with Alfred, another partner, Canuck Israel from Israel Family Farms in Sacramento, will be very soon starting to turn over dirt in Sacramento. So we're really excited about it. Where we are today is their home here in Oakland with Planting Justice. It's their main headquarters. What I'm going to do is turn it over real quickly to Gavin to talk a little bit about himself, his own 3-minute bio of how he got where he is today. Alfred to do the same thing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen in Sacramento. So Gavin, you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Thanks, Jay. Greetings, everybody. My name is Gavin Raiders. I'm one of the co-founders of Planting Justice. We're a nonprofit organization that's been around for almost 11 years, dedicated to creating full-time living wage jobs that help to transform our food system and make it more just and sustainable. So I got into this work through activism. In the early 2000s, I was doing a lot of anti-war activism in the lead up to the war in Iraq. And I recognized that militarism was well at play in my own neighborhood, in my own community. And that instead of fighting against all the things that we don't want to see in the world, that it was my calling to be building solutions and building the future that we need, that we know that we need. And so a big part of that is healthy food and healthy, dignified jobs, especially in communities such as the one we're in today in Sabrani Park that have been disinvested, over-policed, and really there's no economic opportunity even to this day in this community other than this site where we're at right now. So Planting Justice has 40 full-time staff members. We're here in Sabrani Park at our nursery and headquarters. We'll give you a tour in a little bit. There's about 35,000 potted trees on this property of 1,200 varieties. So it's actually one of the largest collections of organic fruit trees in North America, and we'll see some of that later. And we're really excited to be bringing this collection to Sacramento, to the old City Tree Nursery site, creating good jobs in the community, and really expanding on the work of this nursery. So I'll be able to share more as we go along, and with that, I'm going to introduce Alfred Melbourne from Three Sisters Gardens, one of our partners at City Tree Nursery site.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Gavin. Really a pleasure to be here. So my name is Alfred Melbourne from Three Sisters Gardens. I'm the director, lead farmer out there in West Sacramento, Broderick. Our organization is aiming to inspire and empower potential youth. Our goal is to change the narrative where at one time we had gang injunction and heavily criminalized brown, black folks in our community. We need to create more opportunities, resources, training, mentors, so that we can change this narrative and create more opportunities for the young folks in our neighborhood. So in Broderick, we have 4 small urban farms that we're working on where we're producing vast amounts of organic, nutrient-dense vegetables. We're working with the potential youth in our neighborhood, training them, giving them the skills that they need, connecting them with other folks like-minded, showing them all the skills from the beginning, putting seeds in the ground, to maintaining, taking care of, and harvesting the vegetables. So our goal is to give back to the community as a nonprofit organization. Currently, we're going on our 3rd year, and just giving back to the community is our main focus. So appreciate the opportunity working with City of Sacramento, opening this tree nursery project. Looking forward to creating some jobs and training for our area. Thank everybody for watching Three Sisters Gardens.
Great. And so just a little bit of background here, if I can add it in. So the tree nursery is in Mangan Park. And believe it or not, up to a decade ago, the city actually grew its own trees. Then it was a storage facility for trees. And for the last almost decade, it's really just been sitting as neighborhood blight. The neighbors came to us and said, what are we going to do with this? Again, we've tried a couple things. We had a great proposal from Planting Justice, along with Three Sisters and Canuck Israel Farms. And I'm going to ask Gavin to talk a little bit about what they're planning for the 5 acres that we have there. Gavin?
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. So we're going to take a tour of the nursery here in a few minutes, and you'll get a sense of what the potential is for the City Tree Nursery site. For those who are familiar with the site, it's basically a vacant lot with a couple old buildings on it, which we'll be renovating. But really, that site in Sacramento is going to become a nationally significant urban agricultural site. And the reason being is because, like I mentioned before, we're carrying on the work of Mark and Karina Cohen, who built this nursery, Rolling River Nursery, over the past few decades. And they collected plants from all over the world that are nutrient dense and climate resilient. And so we moved that nursery down here to East Oakland, where we're growing, thousands of trees every year and creating good jobs in the community. But we're selling out so quickly of many of the popular varieties that we grow. So when we got the announcement that there was this opportunity to expand to Sacramento, we're really excited to be able to have a place to produce more trees, to grow more food, and to grow more good, dignified jobs in the community. And so our plan for out there in City Tree Nursery in Sacramento is to grow tens of thousands of fruit trees, nut trees, berries, and other perennial plants, in addition to a wide variety of annual vegetable starts, herbs, native plants, and other things that will be sold on site at City Tree Nursery, filling a big gap in Sacramento for locally produced organic produce and nursery starts. And then we'll also be shipping those trees, like we're currently doing here in East Oakland, to customers all around the country. So once a day, the UPS truck comes and we load it up with a few hundred trees that are going out to dozens of customers all around the country in 48 states. And so we'll be continuing to grow that business as a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to uplifting the community and creating good opportunities for people who have been denied those opportunities for so long. And so a big part of what we do is a lot of education as well too. So the site in City Tree Nursery will be an opportunity for young people, for schools, for classes, to do tours, for elders who have a lot of knowledge around agriculture and plant propagation, and for everyone in between to come and to learn about how to really do our best to take care of what we've been given, to make sure that our soil remains healthy, that we're contributing to our planet in good ways by creating more locally grown food and more pollinators. And so it's going to be a really interesting site because Sacramento has this long tradition of agriculture and a lot of knowledge locally. So we're really excited to be able to bring this amazing collection there and to be able to welcome the community for educational programming and to be able to access the produce that Three Sisters Gardens will be growing on their farm site, which will also be at the property. So I'm really, excited to see Three Sisters Gardens be able to expand from those 4 small farm sites that they have in West Sacramento to a full acre farm. And I'll let Alfred speak a little bit about that.
Let me ask a question really quickly. Talk to us a little bit about how many jobs we might be able to engender there and who will be filling those jobs.
Great. So, Planting Justice for the past 10 and a half years has really been dedicated to creating full-time living wage jobs. We know that low-income people, and those who are, also formerly incarcerated and have barriers to employment, they can't fully dive into this work 100% unless their needs are being met and their families' needs are being met. So we start at $19 an hour with full benefits, medical, dental, vision, chiropractic, and life insurance, and we hire locally. So this site right here in Sabrani Park, we're on 105th Avenue in Deep East Oakland. Like I mentioned, it's been a neighborhood that's been disinvested for a long time. And the goal here at this site in terms of job creation is immediate neighbors. So the way that we really have security on the site is in our relationships. So basically, almost everybody who lives in Sabrani Park knows somebody who works here. We have people who live directly across the street, right next door, about maybe 8 of our 14 staff members who work at the nursery live within just about 600 or 700 feet of the property, literally on this block. And so it'll be, looking somewhat similar in Sacramento. We're really dedicated to local hires. We have a few staff who already live in Sacramento who are growing for us at their own properties. And we'll be looking to create living wage jobs for young people who are graduating high school, summer jobs, and also people who have barriers to employment, including people returning home from sites of incarceration and others that have had long-term unemployment.
And those who've returned from incarceration, talk about your recidivism rate.
So we started in 2010 hiring people coming home from our garden program at San Quentin State Prison. So a big part of our education team is we work inside sites of incarceration, and we grow food and gardens inside those places and begin the training. So we get to know people while they're on the inside. We get to know what some of the challenges may be for them coming home. And then we create opportunities for people as soon as they return to be able to do this work full time if that's really a passion of theirs that they want to do. And so in 10 years, we've created jobs for about 45 people who are formerly incarcerated. And only a single person has gone back in 10 years on a new charge. So we're really demonstrating that given a lot of support and resources and a full-time living wage job that really honors the human dignity of that person, we can really avoid recidivism and make sure that the people who are needed by their families and communities can stay home and stay free.
Okay, great. And none of this could be done without community partners. And so I want to introduce you to one of our great community partners, Kelsey Miner, who is from Rayleigh's, great farm to fork instigator, really, in Sacramento. You want to talk to us a little bit about what Rayleigh's is doing?
Yeah, thank you, Jay. For those that live in the neighborhood, you know that this has been a long time coming, and I admire Jay and his tenacity to find the right solution. As you've heard today from the partners, this is a really innovative, amazing way to think about bringing jobs, about bringing fresh fruits and vegetables to our community, about bringing education, all those things that are really important to Rayleigh's. And so for us, we're happy to be here today to learn more and think about what ways we can continue to partner with Jay and the other folks here to bring this parcel to life all over again, to bring more fresh fruits and vegetables to our community, more jobs, more nutrition education. So thank you to the leaders here. We're excited to be here.
Okay, what we're going to do now, I think, is take a little walk, and hopefully the technology and internet will hold as we do it. I'm going to hold the camera, and Gavin and Alfred are going to tell us kind of where we're going.
Okay. So right now we're in our shipping area and also in our plant propagation area. So this is where we start thousands of trees every year from seed or from cutting. We do a lot of grafting as well too. Cesar and Marina are here holding down the fort. They are propagating some currants right now and taking care of the currants. You have something you want to show us, Marina? Semillas. These are purple tomatillos. So they're collecting seed and growing out the seed.
We're showing our collection of seeds
Huh?
for next year.
Okay, these are seeds for next year.
Thank you. Now we're kind of coming out into the field. And so a 1,000 trees or so. It depends what it is, but right now we're looking at apples and figs and so this it seems like we're back on live. Okay, we weren't on there for a minute.
So talk to us a little bit about what your biggest challenges are coming into a city. How does that work for you? And how has the city of Oakland been supportive or not supportive what can the city of Sacramento do for you
Nice.
along the same lines?
Yeah, I mean, partnerships are absolutely critical. You know, none of our work would be possible in Oakland without many dozens of community partners. We, you know, answered the call for this RFP because we could tell that Jay's office in the city of Sacramento was really going to support the next, you know, iteration of what would be happening at City Tree Nursery. And we were invited by Alfred and Canuck at Yisrael Family Farms to come in and be able to leverage our organizational capacity as a long-standing nonprofit that's been doing this work for a while to help create opportunities for these really important projects that are already happening in Sacramento. The work that Yisrael Family Farms is doing, the work that Alfred and Three Sisters Gardens are doing really needs to be supported, but neither organization was really at the, you know, had the capacity to take on this lease. So Planting Justice needing to expand our nursery, we also, you know, saw that we wouldn't want to come into Sacramento unless we were really being invited by activists and organizers and urban agriculturalists who are already doing this work. And I met Alfred maybe a year or two ago. We hit it off right away. And since I've been an executive director for 10 years, and Alfred is coming into this work, I really saw that I could offer a lot of support. And so it was just a beautiful opportunity then, to really engage in a deeper partnership with one another.
So, and if I live in the neighborhood, when will I actually start seeing something happening? That's a question that we get a lot.
Totally. So our goal is to be able to successfully fundraise to start building out infrastructure by the end of this year, to start on the renovation of the site, so that we could get our first seeds in the ground, hopefully in spring. That's still a goal. And then you'll be seeing activity come 2021 in spring and summer, building out the site, so that hopefully before the end of 2021 we'll be open to the public. The Three Sisters Gardens farm will have their first harvest, and that we'll have our first annual vegetables for sale come summer of next year.
Great, looking forward to it. Alfred, what do you want to add to that from Three Sisters?
Yeah, with Three Sisters Gardens, we're really excited to be partnering with Yisrael Family Urban Farm and Planting Justice. From everything that you guys heard so far, it's been for us just to find a model that's already working so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So connecting with Gavin, Planting Justice, and Yisrael has really given us that kind of step up, and we're looking forward to starting this partnership. By next year, we hope that we'll have our first crop going.
That's great. So for the city, let me put this down here for a second. For the city, this checks a lot of boxes. This is about inclusive economic development. It's about workforce development. It's about educating our young people in something so important. And we claim to be the farm to fork capital of the world. So we need our young people to go into that. There's so many different avenues of work as far as that goes. It cleans up blight in a neighborhood. And hopefully with neighborhood volunteers, and we have a whole list of folks who want to get involved, that we'll be able to really activate this, turning it from a place where we do have some challenges with homelessness into a vibrant community center where we can actually start to do events. We're doing with Mangan Park, we're doing a new master plan. Hopefully that will do in conjunction with this. We'll have a great area for people to enjoy by themselves with their families and get some of Three Sisters' wonderful food. So I'm going to sign off now. I know we've got a little bit of an internet challenge, but we want to thank you for bearing with us. Gavin and Alfred, thank you so much for it. We appreciate it. Chelsea, inside, thank you very much. We look forward to continuing to work with Rayleighs. Have a good afternoon, everyone, and be safe.
Nice.
Good job.